sponsors the Chennai Silks. Let the celebration begin. GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand. MCR Pure Cotton Club, formal and casual shirts. Presta Women's Wear. Anaithilum Besta Presta. Innerwear, leggings and nighties presents Galatta Plus Mega Roundtable Pan India Actors. Supported by KFC, full on variety, full on chicken. Milky Mist, Login 360, start your dream IT career. Powered by Darling Solar. 20500 முன்பணத்தில் இப்போது சோலார் மூலம் இலவச மின்சாரம்.
A few actresses in this scene you're sad and all you're doing is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3.
But that's also a challenge. Bring the truth to 1 2 3 4. This is the technique in lip sync songs. So many people, so many actors we know, not name, learn songs like that. They just say banana something like that. They lip sync and hopefully it will like land.
Mr. Bachchan's performance that time was very, very authentic. Talking to Mr. Rajnikant in private, he only talks about Mr. Bachchan. And people will think that is humility.
Whenever I watch Chiranjeevi's films on screen, it looks like your own, somebody from your family is actually on screen. That is what I feel for.
Like, I feel like every part of my consciousness has seen this face so much.
I think the biggest reward is someone like Mr. Scorsese, even just seeing your work as a young actor.
Brahma Yoga, my goodness. You can't carry a film if your craft is not of that level.
I've done this film with Dhanush, which didn't do well at all. It was an OTT release. Another actor I feel like I've technically learned a lot from when it comes to my co-actors is Dhanush.
I have just one question. When is the 4th season coming?
This time I am going to be a badass.
Choose certain films and position yourself a certain way. But after having been through it all, I just feel like just go with your gut.
They ask you to take the prompting. Prompting is a disturbance for me.
Like when I worked with Nicole Kidman, and a lot of people ask me, what did you learn? While we're filming, she's not gone and told anyone, just went to the tent of the director and came back. And she's done a scream, like a huge tormenting, like, laugh.
My problem is not with the commercial film. My problem is with the makers who are trying to make it a hit from the beginning.
Not overdoing it will add that aesthetic, I guess. So I think I didn't overdo.
A few months after Peter released and pitching a film to me, and I didn't really connect with it too much, but it was like starring a quote-unquote big hero, etc. And I politely declined the film. And they were like, oh, this is the best you'll get because you've done like a small role in this movie, so you're not gonna get anything bigger than this. And I was like, so be it, I'm not gonna do something like this for this reason. After that is when Thalapathy Vijay's Master.
Even my crying will have pain because it is going to hurt some muscles here and there. Losing your parents is the worst thing. And I used to ask my mom for tea. The first day without my mom in the house, I shouted and then it hit me that she's not there.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Roundtable without a roundtable, as everyone noticed and pointed out. But Manoj, you had Inspector Zende and of course Family Man this year. You've had Mirai. You're the one person in this group who's representing the pan-India blockbuster, whatever it is. And we want you to talk about that. And then congratulations Ishan for Homebound, Oscars, fingers crossed. And also the Royals.
Thank you.
And Malvika, you actually got to act with Mohanlal in Hriday Purvam. So that's a great thing. And it was a great performance. It was a very good performance. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
And so we'll start talking. So Manoj, oh, by the way, we are shooting this on Rajnikant's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so that's like I don't know, I feel somehow there's some strange, because while this was being planned and all the dates and there was one person who was supposed to be here with us, but they couldn't make it because of the Indigo and all these things are happening. It just completely slipped my mind that we're doing this on the 12th, which is Rajnikant's birthday. So that's it. So
Happy Rajni sir to the birthday.
So Manoj, when you became an actor, because You saw Amitabh Bachchan in Zanjeer and said, "This is what I want to do." Many, many years later, we cut to post Satya, and Mukesh Chhabra, the casting director, says he gets about 200 aspirants a day saying that they want to act because they saw you in Satya. How does this full circle feel?
It's embarrassing. Well, my meeting with Mr. Bachchan was quite bizarre, I would say, because till now I really don't remember what all he said to me. My mind froze, my ears just stopped listening and anything. It was literally a cinematic effect where the world outside completely, blurred for me. So, I don't even remember since when I wanted to act, first of all. My father was a farmer, my mother was a housewife in a village. So, whatever time that I can recall, I always wanted to become an actor. It's just so that when Zanjeer happened, the resolve became very, very strong. This is the kind of performance I want to do. Because Mr. Bachchan's performance in that time of commercial films was very, very authentic. I'm talking about the time of Mr. Rajesh Khanna. It's a very romantic time.
Yeah.
Shammi Kapoor ji was somebody whose films we used to see on the rerun in our time. And here came tall, lanky, long hair guy who was, whom people have seen already in many films. And those films haven't done well, nor he attracted anyone. But something in that film happened that Mr. Bachchan was everywhere. And I was a little one. After that viewing, till now, I haven't seen Zanjeer twice.
You haven't seen it second time?
No, only for one reason, that I didn't want that memory to go.
Kill the myth of it.
Yeah, because cinema keeps evolving, technology kept on evolving. So when you see those films now, you somehow invariably think that, why this film did that much, because technology is not something which you think is very modern. So I never watched that film again. I wanted that magic to be in my mind the way it was when I was 9, 10 years old. Many years later, he happened to be watching Satya in a private screening. I was thrown into that situation where I didn't want to face Mr. Bachchan. I went and hid myself in a toilet, and Abhishek saw me going in there, and then I came out and I saw Abhishek. Abhishek obviously complimented me, and then I saw this tall guy coming and stood next to, right in front of me. For me, everything froze. I don't think I can do that to anyone. My performances can't do that to anyone. Mr. Bachchan has been a personality that I don't think anybody has seen that stature ever. Yes, many stars we have seen, many superstars we have seen, many mega stars we have seen. But I doubt that anybody has seen that time. And Mr. Rajnikant keeps talking about him. Whenever both of them are there, even if you are talking to Mr. Rajnikant in private, he only talks about Mr. Bachchan. And people will think that is humility. No. Yes, part of humility is there because Mr. Rajnikant himself in Down South is quite a huge one. But the truth is, Mr. Bachchan in that time, you will recall, for many, many decades, the magic remained the same. Anyone who goes in front of him till now freezes. He doesn't know how to behave, what to say, how to move his finger, how to move his head. You always feel that you are being watched and observed. That's the kind of person and the actor that he's been. I had a great fortune of working with him in 3 to 4 films. I had a great fortune of interacting with him. he opened up quite a lot. Many times with me in a space where nobody was there, he interacted with me in a way that any UP Bihar person will interact with the fellow guy. But those things, the conversation I cannot share, with you. But yes, even then, the magic continues. Otherwise, what happens that you sit with me in a room, anyone who's, as you said, who has seen my performances, they wanted to become an actor, they will sit with me, I'll make them so comfortable that, they'll be like friends. But with Bachchan, you can't do that. Still there is always that line that you respect.
Teja, when you were asked who's your biggest idol, you've also mentioned it's Chiranjeevi Garu.
Yes, right.
So that mythic, do you have a similar perception of him? Is
No,
it like
I don't have that. I had this opportunity to work with him in many films.
as a child star?
Yeah. So I started my journey in acting with his film. So I literally grew up in his arms. So I don't have that kind of feeling. I'm not worried or anything, but I'm sure I can relate to bits and pieces of what Manoj sir is saying. Whenever I watch Chiranjeevi sir's films on screen, it's like a lot of happiness comes from inside. You don't know, it looks like your own, somebody from your family is actually on screen. That is what I feel for Chiranjeevi sir. Yeah.
Right. But why do you say, is there something from his performance? Because, you have consciously built a career, let's say, on these kinds of films that are mainstream entertainers, right? You want to go big. That's your path. And I've always wondered, have you taken something from another actor that says, okay, this is the style of performance? Because that is a very different style of performance, a very valid style of performance, but that's a little different from what Manoj does. And even Family Man, which is, you can say that's in a bit of a masala zone as well, but there's a streak of realism that's there, which kind of goes through that.
Realism is something which is, and authenticity is something which is our priority in that.
Yeah.
What is mainstream in the is in the manner Raj DK has narrated the story.
Yeah.
Nothing. Everything is very, very real. Nothing is fancy. Spy is the way you see him. You can't differentiate between him and anyone who is walking in the street right outside. So all of that authenticity and realism is kept without compromising on anything. But it's in the manner of Raj DK, they are very mainstream directors.
And the material also.
And the material, yeah. So and that's for me, that's a true mainstream cinema. Not talking about the different universe that people are creating these days. Those are very different kind of films. But when you're making films which is thriller, which is a very today's story, dealing with it, I think you should make it far more authentic and real, and let the cameraman and the directors craft the storytelling and the narrative. And that is why Hollywood films have done wonders. All the Pacinos and the De Niros and the Daniel Day-Lewis films, if you see those days, the performances were very real.
Craft remains the same.
The craft remains the same. It's just the way the director, tells the story, which is so engaging. It is not letting you leave the screen even for a minute. So that is where the mainstream comes.
So Teja, coming to the mainstream, which you're doing.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. So, but let me tell you one thing. He is such a committed person to everything that when he messaged me before this roundtable and said, I have not seen any of Teja's films, can you recommend something? And I told him that about Mirai.
I have to give respect to everyone. It so happens that all of us are so busy, sometimes we don't, he's a young actor. I haven't seen, but once I remember, it was you who kind of answered the journalist that if somebody can do the romantic film. But that was so good.
What is it?
That was such a valid thing. It caught my eye because I was scrolling on the Twitter, because Twitter is.
I didn't want to offend anyone.
No,
but
but it was a very good, very valid. So what happens that try to stereotype an actor, everyone, because that's the way even the journalists are educated or brought up, or even the actors on the industry. He has done Hanuman or Mirai, so they said, why you are only doing mythological films? And he said, why don't you ask the same question to some actor who's only been doing romantic films? So I think that was very valid, and everyone, they should not, I mean, you are starting out. In the beginning itself, you are trying to box an actor, which is, actually you should rather appreciate someone who is doing something away from the usual stuff.
Right. So that's you just got a compliment from Manoj Bajchan. That's a good thing. Thank you. Your purpose has been achieved. You can leave the round table now. But seriously, and Malvika, you can also chip in here. And Ishan, I don't know if you've been, but you're acting with Prabhas and Raja Saab, and you've been in Sardar and a bunch of those kinds of films, and obviously Hanuman. What, in your eyes, acting is acting, but is there an effort to maybe go 10-20% extra or something like that, because there's a certain style that's being thrown at the audience? Is that something that happens?
No, sir, I don't do that. I consciously make an effort not to do any of the things, so it looks a little natural, though the filmmaking style is very commercial and we're going for the high-speed shots and everything, and some pumping music, everything happening anyway. So I think this, not overdoing it will add that aesthetic, I guess. So I think I didn't overdo. Yeah.
So you're basically saying that because the other elements are working high, you keep yourself...
Yeah, I don't try to imitate or act like our superstars. Yeah, I just be myself.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Malvika? In when you're in this zone, and as opposed to in a Malayalam film, right? Say.
I would say that initially, during my initial days as an actor, there was definitely this idea that if you're a part of a film where, say, the humor is a little over the top, that even you do that as an actor, and that I've made mistakes and I've seen my own work, and through the journey learned that it's like what Manoj sir said, that let the craft and the making do that, set the tonality, whether it's a dramatized version or whatever the maker's vision is. But as an actor, if you don't try to do it as realistically to the character as you can, it doesn't, for me, doesn't land the same way. If it doesn't feel right, then it's not gonna vibe with the audience right. So I feel like while I understand that there is like the cultural ethos of every industry is different in terms of like the 3 films that I was working on simultaneously. One was Hriday Purvam with Mohanlal sir. This is about like 8-9 months back. Hriday Purvam with Mohanlal sir, which was a Malayalam movie. Raja Saab with Prabhas sir, an out-and-out horror comedy Telugu film. And Sardar 2 in Tamil with Karthi sir, which is a espionage, like a spy thriller. And all 3 were such different genres, such different films. But it just came down to sort of finding that specific character and being authentic to that character, and not really like, altering, like being loud for the sake of it just because the film's genre is a particular way,
Right. So when you're doing OTT humor, especially, like, I don't know what Raja Saab is, but the trailer kind of looked very grand and in that, like, slightly over the top space.
Right.
But you're saying I'm going to be like low-key in that also.
Yeah, I think the scenes are kind of doing that.
Okay,
like the writing and the comedy, that's sort of like adding the humor bits and the drama bits. Yeah, but I would like to believe that I haven't gone to OTT with it in terms of acting.
And I just want to tell you that again, I found your performance in Hriday Purvam very, very good. And it was like it was a good role also, like a big solid role, meaty role, and I thought you were good at that. So,
thank you so much.
Ishan, I just got this quote from Timothée Chalamet, and I want to just read it out and see one aspect of it if it resonates with you. He said, It's been like 7-8 years that I've been handing in really, really committed, top of the line performances. You saw that
I
quote,
saw
right?
this review, yeah.
I don't want people to take it for granted. I don't want to take it for granted. This is really some top level shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were saying that, let others speak about your performances
yeah.
while you selling
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
But you think today, because it's a kind of a more crowded marketplace in many, many ways, there's nothing wrong in an actor wanting to sell themselves this way?
So I mean, I
How did
actually.
you when you saw this, what was your first?
So I've been following this. I particularly was quite impressed and in admiration of the speech he gave at the Screen Actors Guild award when he won, where I felt he was very vulnerable in that moment to embrace that I want to be one of the greats. It's a quite a vulnerable position to put yourself in, to say that out loud. But there is a power to affirming that, and I didn't think that there was any grandstanding or it didn't feel arrogant. I felt like there was grace in that. This statement recently, however, I think there's a tinge of humor in it. I may be wrong, but I think he's a little meta here because his character in Marty Supreme is a little. So I feel like he's playing that a little bit. Again, I may be wrong, but I mean, more power to him for saying out loud what he wants to affirm to himself. And the guy is definitely now considered one of the mainstream stars in Hollywood, and he's been putting in the work. But yeah, I do think that it's not about being coy or kind of being humble, overly humble about it. But there is definitely a grace in letting the work speak for itself. That's something that I believe in. I would rather give precedence to that than say out loud, look, yeah, I should be appreciated, or which is not what I'm saying he's doing. But again, like I said, I think he's being a bit meta there. So
Are there times where there have been movies, and you've acted in a lot of really good, like you've chosen your films carefully, if I may say that, So do you feel, okay, I've done a really good job here? Does that thought come to you? You don't have to mention the movie if you
over
don't
time,
want to.
I've actually come to, and I would love to also chip in on the previous question, because I think it's a very interesting thing, and also to hear all of them talk about it. But to answer this first, sir, I think I've become more self-assured, and I've become less hard on myself, because I've observed myself over years. Earlier, there was a lot of, I think, desire to prove first to myself. I didn't want to need to prove to others. But I think now I've seen that, okay, I'm sincere, I'm committed, and I work my ass off. So I'm easier to give myself a pat on the back. Like, I'm on my own team now. It feels like that. Let's say that. I'm like, you're a good guy, you're a hardworking guy. I'm on my own team now. But it's not. I actually am a bit wary of getting too carried away with. I feel like once you're done with the work, you're done with it. Like even in the case of Homebound, I do think, and I can probably say out loud, in my opinion, I think it's my best performance yet. But I'm even prouder of the film than I am of myself. Like I really feel like a champion for this story. I feel ऐसी फिल्में बनती नहीं है. I think it's a rarity. So just to be able to have done this at this stage in my career is what makes me even prouder of it. And that's why, like you asked earlier, with all the campaigning and all that work and traveling up and down, it makes it easier because it comes from a very genuine place. So, whatever it needs, like happy to give it whatever it needs. And
You wanted to chip in.
yes. I know. I just think that I don't think I've consciously ever tried to. Of course, my experience compared to Sir and everybody. Actually, you said you did 45 films on film stock. So like my experience compared to all of them is relatively lesser. But I don't think there's a conscious effort to like pitch your performance differently. At least for me, it's not a conscious thing. Yesterday, I was on this panel with a bunch of actors, and Raghuveer Yadav sir was there, and he kept saying कि लोगों ने तैरना सीख लिया, डूब के काम करना भूल गए हैं लोग. And I feel that thing, अगर आप डूब के काम कर रहे हो, whatever the film is, it'll inform you, So obviously there is a pitching to every story, and there's a music and a rhythm to every story, and it tells you what it needs, So I don't think there's a conscious effort that I'll pitch it up or pitch it down because it's that scale of film. But I may learn that going forward if one does bigger blockbusters. But if I say I'm doing a human drama, a very intimate story like Homebound, or doing a war film like Pippa, my approach to it has not been consciously that I'll pitch it this way. It's always character first, specifics first, and then you learn, on set. If you're standing in a field which is like 5 kilometers big and that's the frame, I guess that informs you.
You mentioned a lot of times that
you speak
mentioned-
on a different page.
tell you.
He's mentioned a lot of times that the
I'll tell you.
location informs the performance
I
so
feel
much.
like that,
Yeah.
I was working with the director. I will not name him. I mean, once he hears this, he will know that I'm talking
The
about.
recent one, sir?
Just around 3-4 years back. I was talking. Why is it? Because this was a very pure pot boiler that I was doing, and so there was. I usually was approaching my role the way I do, and as soon as there was a pause, and I kept on looking at the other character, he started shouting, "Cut, cut, cut! Manoj sir, ये अलीगढ़ नहीं है sir, ये अलीगढ़ नहीं है sir, ये मेरी फिल्म है, इतना pause नहीं चाहिए sir." So what happens that there is a certain definition of mainstream direction, of the commercial film direction, where the directors are expecting you to fit into the genre.
That's exactly why I was asking
Okay,
that question. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are few genre where it requires you not to submit yourself to the character. Your actor should be aware all the time what you are doing, because eventually everything that you are doing is for the audience. When you are doing, say, Homebound, or in my cases, most of the films that I have done, 80% of them, you are required to do research. You really work on the elements of the character. You get into it. You really torture yourself. You go through the grind. You do it. But there are few directors, or the mainstream directors, they don't want you. They would be very happy if you see your lines, in one go.
Flat. Yeah.
In one go and with impact.
Yeah.
So each and every sentence
Impact,
it should be a meme. So it's that kind of a. But yeah. So it's fan service. So I don't mind it, because once your craft is ready, you know that you can manage it. Okay, and let's go ahead, do it. This is the way you want it. Okay. One director said to me, "Sir, आप बहुत कमाल हो, लेकिन आप pause बहुत देते हो, sir."
See, Manoj, this is what you've been doing wrong all these years.
And in Family Man, I just look at my co-actor and people start laughing. So, so to each their own. It is really, really genre specific, I don't mind not giving a pause and just try to make it as impactful and attractive as possible. I do it. I've done it in Rajniti. I've done it in Satyamev Jayate also. But most of the time, the films that I do, they don't require me to do that. It's purely performance. You just do your job.
So one of the great things that happened was, right from day one, you were able to show that you're a great actor. I mean, the films that were being made were, whether the parts were small or big, there was no chance that, what you were bringing to the table was not recognized. But in the context of this mainstream acting, I'd like to, I think I'm recalling the scene correctly. It's in Veer-Zaara, which is about as mainstream as a film can get. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Shah Rukh is bring Preeti to the railway station, and that's your introduction scene.
Right.
So it's actually a little meta the way I remember it. You guys are on this side. Shah Rukh and Preeti are on this side. They're climbing the stairs, and you are climbing up the stairs on the other side. It's almost like two different schools of acting are meeting, kind of a thing. So it's like this big confrontation between
both on the ascent.
Both. So, but that aside, did you that character is Hindi film Muslim, if I may, you know, wearing this long
Hindi
achkan
film
type.
Pakistani basically.
Ha ha
Yeah,
ha.
ha.
Like you know, like wearing this long achkan type thing, and you know, saying taslim and all those. There's one standard bunch of words that are sprinkled around and kind of, and then you know, like doing this and all those kind of things. When you get a character that is not necessarily, and I'm saying that the film works for whatever, like, right, and there is no, like, there is nothing wrong in that.
Right.
But when a character like that is given to you, how do you break those cliches that are inherent in the writing, let's say, because it's like they want you to represent, just like this other director that you would not name mentioned, they want you to represent, because it's a small part, it's not, you're not leading the film. But in that kind of scenario, do you just say, okay, this is all I'm required to be, I'll do this, that's it? Or in that also do you try to do something that is you?
Look, in that film, Yashi was so insistent that I played. He watched this film of mine, Pinjar, with then Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Lal Krishna Advani ji, and all of them just loved the film and my performance, for which I got my second national award. And once he watched the film, since then he started insisting that I have a role for you in the film and you must do it. So I thought that there must be something, okay, in the film that Yashji is calling, and I was quite thrilled that I'll be getting a chance to work with him. Also, I was wondering what kind of a role he's going to offer to me, because he doesn't make films for a man of my look, okay, my shape and size and my shade. Why is he calling me? So I was always wondering. So I went to him. He said, it's a cameo and it's a very important role. I said, okay, sir, if it is a cameo, I'll do it. I mean, I'll get a chance to work with you. I don't know when you will again call me.
Yeah.
So he said, no, please listen. First you go through the narration. I said, sir, kitna narration hoga? Ek scene hoga? Nahin, I need 4 days for you. I said, 4 days, sir? It's too long. He said, no, you please listen to it. And Aditya has given the narration to me, and I found it quite interesting. Very interesting. Because for me, he was not a villain. Yeah. I treated him like that. Because what the girl is doing is wrong in my eyes. She's engaged to me. Now she's flirting with some other guy. So he's a patriarch. He's not somebody who is a modern day liberal guy. He's not going to take your opinion and take your argument about this personal issue of his. Okay? And so I approached it from that lens. For me, Shah Rukh's character was somebody who was doing everything wrong that is there in the book. And Preeti's character is doing complete blasphemy. Yeah. So I have all the power. I was born and brought up in a very powerful family. I have never seen, my family or my character in a powerless situation any time. So anybody with this background, in those shoes, will behave the same, right? And that's what he exactly done. There's a very good line that he says to Shah Rukh's character when Shah Rukh is in the police custody. He says that मोहब्बत की आग में जले हम, आप मोहब्बत करें आप और ज़ारा और उसकी आग में जले हम, that's not possible. आपको क्या लगा था कि आप मेरी होने वाली बीवी को भगा के लेके चले जाएंगे और हम चुप बैठेंगे? And he says it very flatly, because the power doesn't shout. Power is much more calmer than
Power is in silence.
So I think I didn't think too much about it. I've done it with utmost sincerity. I came out. I had a party that night in Amritsar with everyone. Shah Rukh I was meeting after a long time, because we go a long way. And now that I forgot. Never thought that I'll get anything out of it. It was a dream to work with Mr. Yash Chopra, and that was fulfilled. That's it. But I'm so happy that Baradwajrangan, the Baradwajrangan is talking about this sequence.
But then,
And the stairs in the
no, but that was a very iconic thing.
Clash of
because-
the Titans.
Manish Malhotra's gown and all that.
So, Malvika, you said in an interview that you did a lot of big star projects because you did not wait. I did not want to wait endlessly for the perfect role. Completely understandable sentiment. But what I'm curious about is, what do you consider, and this is for everyone maybe, but you can begin. Do you have a definition of something that is a perfect role?
I don't anymore. But when you start acting and you're a new actor, you have an idea of a perfect launch that's been put into your head by people around you, by films you've seen growing up, and oh, Deepika Padukone had the perfect debut in Om Shanti Om, or so and so had the perfect debut in this. It's an idea that's sort of fed to you consciously, subconsciously, and you're like, oh, you know what, even I want to debut with like so and so superstar in this movie that goes on to, But then you realize that there is no such thing as a perfect film. And everything is up to the film gods. Whether a film works, it doesn't work. Everything could be like you could, for instance, work with a star maker, a very popular maker, in a film that has a really big superstar. And the film could not do well, So there's just so many permutation combination that you eventually realize that it's all about just sort of doing work. It comes down to that. Doing work, collaborating with people that in that moment feels like I would like to collaborate with this maker, with this team, the script is interesting, and sort of like just live in the present and go with that and not think too much about the packaging. But I won't lie, like initially I did feel like I would think too much about the packaging. Be it whatever industry, be it Tamil, be it Telugu, be it Hindi, like who am I starring opposite?
So for example, getting a Vijay film was a big thing.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It was. In fact, I was offered this movie, Peta, which was my first film in Tamil, directed by Karthik Subbaraj. And he called me for the film because he had just seen Beyond the Clouds. And that, so a Majid Majidi film resulted into like Karthik Subbaraj, who's like a very mainstream maker in Tamil, making like this huge film with Rajnikant sir. And he called me for a part. And it wasn't the lead, but it was a nice character. And I was like, okay, I would love to work with Rajnikant sir. And for me, it was like a bucket list item that I really want to work with Rajni sir. And I was like, okay, there's something for me to go and do because there were a couple of scenes that were really interesting. So I thought, yeah, why not? And I did that film and I didn't think too much about it. And then later, I realized that in the Tamil industry, all the offers that were coming my way, I wasn't getting a lot of lead roles because they were all like, "Arey, you've played this sister part in this movie." And that's when I realized, oh, acha, aise bhi hota hai. That you'll get stereotyped into a box that you didn't do a lead role. So no, and I recall like a couple of really big producers had come to me a few months after Peta released and pitching a film to me, and I didn't really connect with it too much, but it was like starring a quote-unquote big hero, etc. And I politely declined the film. And they were like, oh, this is the best you'll get because you've done like a small role in this movie, so you're not going to get anything bigger than this. And I was like, so be it. I'm not going to do something like this for this reason. And exactly a couple of months after that is when Talapati Vijay's Master came my way. And that was, that's as big as it can get in Tamil in terms of like a male actor. Yeah. And I did that, and so you can, what I'm saying? Like people feed you all of these ideas. You have to choose certain films and position yourself a certain way. But after having been through it all, I just feel like just go with your gut. Just work. Just
all you have.
Just be in the moment. That's all you have. There are no rules. Just because someone's graph has gone a certain way and you try to follow in those footsteps, it's never gonna be the same for someone else. So just go with your gut.
So Manoj Jaideep recently said that after Patal Lok released, you called him because you loved his performance and you spoke to him for a long time about it.
Second season, sir.
First one.
Second season.
Yeah. First one or second one?
Don't know.
Don't-
Recent is the second
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So, and he said that after the call, he wept because an actor had actually acknowledged his work. Is it that rare that actors acknowledge other actors' work?
I mean, sadly so. It's when I'm talking about it, I don't feel I'm not feeling good talking about it, because actors should actually feed off each other, right? They should. I learn all the time. If I'm watching his How Homebound, I'm learning. I'm learning many things that is captured in that film. I'm learning how these two young actors are approaching their roles, and there are few moments that they have done it consciously or unconsciously. It has completely impressed me. It has taught me few things. Similarly, if I'm watching Jaideep, and I somehow feel that he has hit a very, very impossible note in a certain scene, that has taught me quite a lot. I was watching it alone, Baradwaj, and when he hit that pitch, hit that note in that sequence with Ansari, I actually got up. I started clapping, because this is a constant search. This is a constant exploration that I keep doing with myself. I'm always looking for looking to perfect the impossible note. And when you see that is happening, and if you don't recognize it and don't call the actor and say it, then what's the purpose of you being an actor and being truthful to things? Then it's all bakwas. If I am truthful to my craft, then I should be able to just pick up the phone and just tell him that this is what I have learned, and I have learned how to hit that impossible note. Yeah, and the sequence I am telling you, the sequence I still remember. Sequence is when he comes to know that Ansari is gay, and they are driving. It's silence. Ansari is unaware of the fact that he now knows about it. Hathiram is driving, but he is restless. He's coming from a lower middle class strata. For him, it's a big thing. So he doesn't know how to express his feeling, what he's going through, and where he hit it is something magic. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. No matter how many times I say it, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. Any actor will think that is very easy. No, it's not. First of all, to think that I'm going to do it this way, that is really not going to occur to you, and then to break that silence and hit it there is impossible.
There is a recent scene that I thought you hit a note that was, I don't know whether it's a hard note to hit or an easy note to hit, but it was a very unusual note.
Right.
And I want you to tell me how you took the audiences there. It's episode 2 of Family Man, I think. You've learned that someone very close to you has died. You're on a hospital bed. You know which scene I'm talking about?
Which one you're talking about?
The Family Man.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dalip Tahil's character, yeah.
Thank you. I was trying to say this character close to you, but then you wanted to do this.
Dalip Tahil.
Spoiler alert.
do you want to do that?
Now it's
Okay,
1 month now.
It's over everywhere. So you know that this person
It's
is
most watched now. So job done.
See, I love that little flex. It's awesome.
Little bit of in front of these people.
It's awesome. So you now, like Malvika said, the thought has been fed into you. She mentioned about the debut. You have to be a certain way. How to do a crying scene has also been fed. Like react to the fact that you're receiving news that a person has died has been fed to you. Like somebody says, "Abhi ye nahi rahe," and then you're like either do this or the tears come down or something like that, right? That's like the immediate thing that most people go for, right? So, but you grapple with that information.
Yeah, you grapple with it.
Yeah, you're trying your best to kind of you're gasping.
Right.
You're gasping. You're doing all kinds of things because you're not even. I don't even know. You're not crying, you're just trying to get that information and
Right.
say, oh shit, this has happened. Was that a directorial choice, or did you go there?
You know, with Raj and DK and me, what happens that mostly they always okay, Manoj. They will brief him, they will brief him, they will brief her, and when it comes to me, okay, you know it. You do it. So sometimes, but what happens is that happens in the beginning. But when there is a take, when I do something, they invariably they come to me and they add few things. So that then directors are always counted because they become your first audience. They are watching your performance from a distance. They are not attached with with your performance. You are. But when they are looking at it, they will think of many things.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. And just to elevate your performance, elevate what you're doing, they will come and give you one or two suggestions, or they will ask you not to do a certain thing. So I'm depending a lot on them. But on that particular thing, I'm telling you, there are few things happening. So when I'm going to do that sequence, I have to, just when the whole thing is being prepared, or just when you know that you are going to do this scene, just remember all the things that you have thought about your chemistry with Dilip Dhal's character. He was supposed to be my father figure. He's been my mentor in intelligence. He is somebody who picked me up. So now I have to keep adding my things to my backstory. So just before I'm getting to do that scene, I'm remembering all the time that I have spent with
From
him.
season 1.
From season 1 and much before that, which is in my backstory. So when you start thinking about all of that things, as Kanu Bahal says, that don't need to show it. Just think about all of those things and the performance will come. Keep thinking about where you are coming from into that scene. Also, what is the situation of you in that scene? The situation is I'm badly hurt, injured, almost survived. So even my crying will have pain, right? Because it is going to hurt some muscles here and there. It is bruised so badly, it is injured so badly. So the crying will be different. One, I am grappling with it. Second, when it comes to expressing it, I can't express because I am deeply hurt outside and inside, injured. So all of those things, one tries to work out here and there. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. But I think, thank you very much.
But that was
you
beautiful.
recognized it. Yeah.
And similarly, Ishan, that was a beautiful scene in Homebound. And see, acting actually is so many things, but the things that get noticed at a first viewing are the big scenes, right? Because you're following the narrative, and then when a big breakdown like that happens, that's what strikes you, despite the fact that the second time, third time, you may notice certain smaller details and stuff like that. And one of the big scenes you have, and you pull it off beautifully, is this scene where something happens on a bridge. Or do you want to spoil it as well?
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay, right. Because so, and we've already talked about this when we were talking about the film Homebound. But what I'm curious now is, when you took yourself to that place, there's a lot of things. Then I saw the movie again that seemed like they had been improvised, like the place where you take out the cricket ball and put it down, tennis ball, cricket ball. But or how much of that was?
That was in the script.
That was in the script. So everything that you did in the
Not everything. I will answer this question, sir. But first, I have to acknowledge what Manoj sir said, because it's a very big thing for me. And just to get that thap art is means a lot, and you're an actor that one has looked up to, and you know this. I've said this to you before, for years, and learned from.
You've been always very sweet to me.
No, sir. It's
Thank
not
you.
sweet. It's just the truth. And I can't wait to watch Family Man season 3. I'm a huge fan of the show, and have gulped down the first 2 seasons. So I'm going to download it and watch it on my next flight, because I've been yo-yoing. And also the scene he mentioned of Jaideep sir's, I also have to say, was one of the moments where I was most, taken aback by his performance, because there was just such truth to it. And like he said, I don't think you can plan certain things, and it just means he was so entrenched in that character, because I don't think that is the way Jaideep Ahlawat would have reacted to a situation like that at all. I mean, and that is acting, but it was just very, very truthful and potent. And so just had to acknowledge, even just being in the same conversation means a lot. As for that scene, sir, that was a scene that we knew we were working towards pretty much the entire film. And Neeraj is one of those directors that, like Majidi sir, doesn't shy away from raising the stakes and telling an actor, like, this is, you know, a lot is hinging on this, you know. This is, in a way, the emotional culmination of the film. And if it doesn't land, you know, also being that that was the episode that was in the film that was inspired by the true incident, that was based on the op-ed piece that Basharat did for the New York Times on Mohammad Sayyub and Amrit Kumar. So that does add a layer of responsibility, and also you don't feel like you want to manipulate it emotionally in any way, shape or form. This was a film that needed utmost authenticity and honesty. And so we were approaching the whole film like that, but when it came to this, you know, everybody kind of, and Neeraj has this approach, amazing thing he does on set. He has a protocol on set called Code 360. So that Code 360 gets applied to certain scenes and it goes on the call sheet. So the entire crew is aware that this scene is a Code 360 scene. और वो लागू होता है set पे, Code 360 activated, and everybody starts functioning in the tone of the scene. So if it's an emotional scene, people will talk in a more sahaj tone. There will be whispers on set. If the clap will be a soft clap, but if it's an angry scene, there'll be like a chaotic energy on set.
I'm sorry, I was laughing because to interrupt
you relate, I'm sure.
No. When we were shooting, I was reminded of something.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. When we were shooting, I don't remember the exact scene. That is probably when hero has realized that his mother has died with the promise and everything, and I was trying to perform, and somebody right next to me on the light was actually on phone, "Arey, biryani techava." And I said, "Silence, please." Yeah. This happened for multiple times, and at the end, he was discussing if it was chicken biryani or mutton biryani also. This actually happened, and not once, every single time it happens. How many ever times I tell them, and slowly, if there are big stars on set, obviously they'll be very quiet. But sometimes I see even when big stars are there, they're on their own. Everybody is on their own. And when I'm shooting with Prashant, so the camera will be moving towards me, and Prashant will be actually talking to me. Like randomly, whatever scene I'm in. Koncha left jargu, koncha right ira, array, background, the shot will be happening. So,
I'll be...
So I have to activate this Code 360.
I'll go mad.
Sir, people talk to me while the shot is happening, sir.
We take it for granted, but it's a luxury. I mean, even for me, it doesn't happen on every set. Like I did a $100 million plus Hollywood production. It's not, silence on set is a luxury. If you get it on any set, and that's always set the tone by the director. It's always top down.
I mean, Mr. Ram Gopal Verma's film that I have just finished, Ishan, I must tell you, I was telling my co-actor one day, I would consider Robert De Niro the greatest actor and Pacino if they can give a great performance in this atmosphere. Let them come here and be that good.
And now with the walkies, sir. Now the walkies go off in the middle of the take.
People are shouting on walkies.
Yeah.
I mean, on almost every set, not only Mr. Ram Gopal, every set. तुमको बोला था ना लेके आने के लिए उधर से लाइट लेके आ. ये walkie है भाई. इस पे धीरे बोला जाता है.
The whole point is that in-ear कहाँ गया भाई?
The fellow who is standing right in front of you while the shot is happening with a thermocol or something, so he'll have a walkie. He's not the one who's talking, okay? The fellow who's talking is somewhere else, near the caravan or somewhere outside. He'll be like talking silently also. And say, then you'll be in middle of it, and that fellow will be in front of your face.
And you're crying your eyes out.
And this is also fine too.
All the workshops that is happening in the city, I think they should add one more chapter to their teachings. How to act in a noisy set.
Correct. Yeah.
Because that's a regular thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said it very rightly, that during the shoot of Homebound, and Neeraj is that kind of a director. There are a few directors, they want complete silence. But that's rare.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Most of the shoots, no matter how different it is the director, is the people are shouting
Yeah.
all the time.
And you just suck it up. Like you're expected
Yeah.
to suck it up. Like, do your job. And that's what being a professional actor is. Like you've got to do it despite everything.
Right.
Also, we have to be prepared to.
Earlier, when I was their age, I used to lose my cool on people if they used to move, in front of my eyes, in my eye line. Now I'm quite
You
fine.
just chill with it. Yeah.
I'm used to it.
I miss it if it does happen.
that happens.
कोई light तो काटो यार, क्या मजा नहीं आ रहा।
Even in an interview sometimes, when somebody's telling you something and you're focusing on it because whatever they're telling you has the potential to form 3 different questions, and you have to keep them circling around so that you're kind of listening to this person, but also you want those questions. And then somebody behind is like, they're just like,
See, sir, you're also You're practically an actor, sir.
In a scene that scene has won many accolades, many awards for me. In that sequence, the trolley is moving in. Okay? And I see the cameraman doing the focus. I know.
that happens.
And it's a difficult scene to perform. But now we are used to it. Now we know that this guy is saying something to the focus puller guy, and he doesn't even care that there's a performance happening because he's so much concerned about his lights, his camera, the focus, So it's hard. It's hard. And that is where we are very different from Hollywood, by the way.
That's great. So, please continue.
No, I completely agree. I mean, it's a rarity, and that's why it must be shouted out. I think.
Code 360, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I remember the word.
it's-
That sounds very interesting though.
No, it's amazing, and also what it does is it gets everybody's energies onto the scene, which is like basically what it's all for.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that scene, I think it was about a 3-page monologue, and Neeraj would keep adding to it, so the days we were... and we did shoot the film largely chronologically, so it was kind of the second last day of shoot. And the first time we attempted it actually, and he was very smart about it, he knew that you can't take a chance with this scene, and because we had to lock the entire bridge down, and we were shooting in a regular bridge, so it had to be the pandemic and not a single person in sight. And so basically what was happening between takes was you'll go a tighter mag and all that, and 45 cars will be released and they'll all be, hey, shooting, hey, Shan Khattar, and then you have to go back into your, So that's the job aspect of it, it's just to stay with it. And it is emotionally, you require that stamina, of course, to keep going again and again, but also just shut everything out, and that is difficult, and so it helps to have that atmosphere on set. There were some improvisations. At this point, honestly, I can probably point them out for you while watching it, but I think it all became I think it was because we had lived that journey till that point that I don't think there was any discussion of what's the right thing to say or wrong thing to say. And Neeraj is amazing in that sense that he is also very honest. He's the most particular director I've worked with, but he's also honest enough to say, I can't do anything here. This is you. You have to drive this vehicle, So he was there to support in any way, shape or form. He was like, can I play this song? And he uses music a lot. I use music a lot. That helps a lot to me personally.
Music to set the tone of the...
To set the tone.
As in while the shot is happening?
Not in this shot because it was sing sound dialogue, but before the shot, right before action, say, But I think it was things just happened, and I don't really know beyond that. Neeraj told me that while we were doing this press tour, he spoke about at some point I walked under the bridge and screamed a lot. I don't remember it. I don't have a conscious memory of this. So I don't know. This is the first time it's happened with me because I remember things, details. I don't remember this, but I think it was just to get that quality in the voice. You've been walking for, the entire day with him on your back, and I don't know what happened, but yeah, we worked a lot on that. We worked very hard on
It
that.
shows.
Because it was not about the grief, that scene was about the desperation. It was about trying to keep him alive. That's what I was trying to play, at least, with some hope that I can resuscitate with every cell in my body. That was the grief will come and it doesn't come so early, right? It's always that acceptance doesn't come. When the acceptance, if you've cried, it means you've accepted he's gone.
Right.
So it was...
It takes quite a lot. I mean, there are many instances in my own life where I got the news of somebody's passing away. I took hell of a lot of time before you actually, come to terms with the loss. First, you don't, really believe your ears that this is what you're hearing, and then even sometimes you pretend that I believe what you're saying, but somewhere you're not believing.
Denial, yeah.
Because you have to say something, to the person who is giving you this news, in person or on the phone. But you are in denial. You are somewhere thinking that it is not true. It takes a lot of time. But when you actually know that this is the truth, and now you will never get to see that person ever in your life, that is where it hits you. And that may happen 2 days after the funeral, maybe 5 days or 6 months, 8 months. That is why losing your parents is the worst thing that can happen to you. So, in the beginning, you also try to feel that they have lived their age. Now it was time to go. And people, and even you console yourself. People come and tell you the same thing, but it's a hard thing. I'll tell you one instance when I went back to my village after my mom's passing away, and whenever I used to go to my village, my room used to be upstairs that they have constructed. So there was a habit. It's the habit that breaks your heart. The habit was that I used to wake up and do my routine of morning and come down, and I used to ask my mom for tea. The first day without my mom in the house, I shouted in my own language, ki mai chai bana do. And then it hit me that she's not there. That's hard. That is when it hits you very badly. And I cried. I never cried after my parents passing away. I always thought that, I'm very matured now. But all maturity was gone when I realized that, oh shit, this is for true. That they will never be there when I asked for a cup of tea. So, and then I howled after that. I cried 3 months after her passing away. So this is what I'm trying to say. When you, as an actor, you are learning all the time from others' life experiences, from your own life experiences, and you're trying. But the most what you call devilish thing that we do, that we try to get all of those experiences into
one role,
into our performances, right? And
That's also because it's compressed time, right?
yeah,
so
compressed time. Yeah.
So see, at least a miniseries gives you that time. It's like for the longest time in Hindi cinema, for instance, like a mother would hear some bad news and, that would happen. Like she would process it like.
So you're
in a-
giving us some epic performance. Especially
I'm giving you the bad ones.
I mean, baddie will give us the bad ones.
Yeah. So no, but I think there's a reason, because the audience you want to shorthand like take them there,
Right.
no, mother, don't process and all that. Just instantly go there. That's what you want, right? That's like maybe that's why until your generation probably came along and broke that slowly. I mean, it was always there in the. When Ashish, Rudin Shah and Om Puri, they were all doing that. But
I've realized, sorry to interrupt you, Nasir Sahab and Om Puri Sahab and all of those actors, Pankaj sir, all of those actors, they were doing parallel films on the side, and those films used to get one show.
Yeah.
I mean, one show in some theater which is 10 kilometers, say, from here. Now, anybody who wants to see half of them will give up. Only someone who is as motivated as one of us will say, okay, yeah, we heard so much about that film, let's travel. Okay, so the parallel film movement, which, I mean, Mr. Bachchan's time, it did well for a certain time, then it was gone. Okay, for its own reason. That's another roundtable
killed by that,
discussion.
yeah.
But I am very proud to say that, Irfan or me or KK, all three of us were very stubborn for some mad reason that we are not going to be part of something that we don't believe in. And we were sitting at home just spending whatever little money that was there in our bank and taking complete risk with our life. Okay? But to our luck, it started happening. So I would tell you, when Satya was released, many of my contemporaries were actually praying कि भगवान ये film hit हो जाए, then we will be getting roles, the kind of roles that we would like to play. I mean, even say Irfan or KK. KK has admitted this, that my Shul was releasing, all of these guys were praying that ये solo hero है मनोज का, अगर ये चलना चाहिए यार, ये चलना चाहिए, then we'll get roles. So it took a lot, because took a lot from us, because parallel film movements peaked and then it was gone.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it took many years till we reached when Mr. Ram Gopal Verma, Mani Ratnam, Shekhar Kapoor, all of these people started coming up. It was our luck. Somewhere they needed actors like us. Yeah, and that's how things started rolling.
So, Malvika, what was it like? Most cliche question I'm going to ask you, but what was it like acting with Mohanlal?
I feel like my earliest memories of cinema, of seeing someone on screen, has been Mohanlal sir. Because while I grew up in now Mumbai, I've lived here my entire life, but I'm born to two very Malayali parents who've like, our house is like an oasis. You enter a house and it's like you've entered a mini Kerala in the heart of Mumbai. It looks like Kerala. We eat Malayali food. We speak Malayalam at home. So they've kept the culture very alive.
Yeah.
And it helps that, of course, they're both Malayalis. One was Malayali, married to like a North Indian. Maybe like that wouldn't have been possible. So I'm very grateful that I have like that sense of connection to the roots. But as a result, I grew up watching Malayalam movies since a very young age. And we used to live in this small one-bedroom flat while growing up. And whatever mom dad would watch on TV is automatically what I'm watching too, because 2-3 bedroom थे नहीं. तो ऐसे नहीं कि मैं बैठ के अपना cartoon या कुछ देख रही हूँ. It was, it was just. And I've seen, so I feel like probably the first actor that I watched on screen has been Mohanlal sir. And through the course of my life, I have watched all of his cult classics. He's been like, him and Mammootty sir have been synonymous with Malayalam cinema. So for me, I feel like compared to all the other superstars that I worked with, I never really got used to seeing Mohanlal sir in real life. Like, even by the end of the film, if I would see him, I would just like look at him like this, like it was still surreal for me. And it's not as simple as, it's not like being starstruck. It's just like, it's different, Like, I feel like every part of my consciousness has seen this face so much. So to perform with someone you feel that way about was quite tricky for me. And also the fact that he's just like a one-take artist doesn't help, because I feel like I take a couple of takes to sort of find my groove. Like, everyone's different, right? Yeah. We all have like a, like I remember Prabhas sir, he even he's like a 1 or 2 take artist. The moment he'll do the third take. He'll do how many more takes it takes. But after the second take, he's just like, it's gone. Now it's gone. It's gone from my system. Now it's not gonna come. You know. So everyone's got their own preference. I feel like it takes me 1 or 2 takes, but for Mohanlal sir, it's like take number 1. And even if he's asked for like take number 2, he'll do it. But he'll be like, oh, was there an issue? You know, is there a problem?
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
So because of that, I had to like the associate directors would come and prep me and be like, okay, you know, you do your rehearsals here so that you go there, and then so just to match the thing. But it was a mix of a lot of emotions for me. I obviously learned a lot. He's a very interesting person, even outside of films. His interests, his hobbies. He's a very curious soul. So to get to know him in that capacity was quite an honor for me. And to get a very I know you guys haven't watched Hriday Purvamas yet. Please do when you get a chance. To get a full-fledged role with someone like Mohanlal sir, I feel it's not happening a lot of late. So I was very happy to have gotten you know, a role where there's something to do, where you
And
can
also
actually
probably learn. I guess.
You're obvious.
So when
200%.
Is there something that like a hack that you can pass on, like something that happened on the set, that something that you just realized, wow, this is something I can use as part of my toolkit?
A lot of technical things. Like I have a habit of speaking very fast. So I'll say my dialogues also the way I speak in real life. I'll say it in that pace. And he would be like, slow down, slow down. I know this is coming naturally to you, but it's cinema. People need to hear it clearly when they are watching your character speak on screen. Speak in this space. Don't speak in the space, you know, because you eat up certain words and it's not like enunciate right. You know, so he would keep correcting minor things, but he was very mindful to like not get in the way of like your entire process of things. And so yeah, like a little like technically I feel like I picked up quite a lot of things from him. In fact, another actor I feel like I've technically learned a lot from when it comes to my co-actors is Dhanush. He is very, you know, he has a lot of suggestions which when, you know, you're implementing it and you're seeing, right? Like how is it working for me? And, you know, so but he's another actor I've learned a lot technically from. Because we're learning from our co-actors, yeah? Like apart from doing a course or apart from like going on acting school, where else are you picking things up from? It's the people you work with, you know? Every day is a learning curve. But Mohanlal sir, yes, it was, I learned a lot. And
Mammootty is your go-to person.
he came with an agenda to start a fan war.
That's my thing. Start a fan war.
The Mohanlal and Mammootty are, you know, two very opposite schools. It's same as Nasir Saab and Ompuri, and same as De Niro and Pacino. De Niro, no matter how much he has prepared, he's always leaving things for the last minute, and ready to, you know, grasp anything which comes to him at the last minute. This is how he's performed all his life. But Pacino is like a thorough. If he has really rehearsed it in his den, and then he came on the set. There should be no interference. There should be no noise. So he's like the horse. So I think Mammootty sir is like that. He's a true craftsman. Mohanlal sir is somebody who knows his script backwards. I think after that he must be living it, and he's ready. He is ready with each and every nuances. He knows where he's coming from, where he's going. But Mammootty sir, what is the name of that film where there are only 3 characters?
Brahmayugam.
Brahmayugam. Brahmayuga, my goodness. You can't carry a film if your craft is not of that level. Each and everything that he's done in the beginning, you get all the answers from his own performances in the end. So that's the kind of an actor. I've been watching both of these greats since many years. Many years. We should try to catch their films in the film festivals and, you know, try to take the volunteers job in those days, just to watch all of these greats, because those days Malayalam films were not easily available.
Yeah.
But now they are. I'll definitely watch it. Yeah.
It's a sweet film. Yeah. It's very heartwarming.
No, I keep
and
watching.
it's become unfashionable now to make these films, I think.
You know, I watch Malayalam films so much that my wife says that, are you planning to work in Malayalam films?
but that's very
Great
interesting.
plan, sir.
That's-
Take me along.
but have you considered, let me ask you this, Teja, because she has worked in all the industries, right? And I'm sure you face difficulty learning lines in languages that you don't yet know, kind of thing. Is there a plan for you to kind of maybe diversify a bit? Or for now, you're like, this is where I want to build a home, Telugu industry, and then maybe look at the future. Is that how you're...
I don't see a reason to work in other languages because even if we are shooting in Telugu, it's anyway being released in Hindi and in Malayalam
Right.
and in Tamil, Kannada. It's being released and people are watching the films and loving it. So I don't find a reason. And also I think when I'm trying to rehearse my lines in my mind or try to get my lines right, then I think half of my
Spontaneity.
capability will be gone. So
What do you have to say for that? I mean, like when
I
you're...
completely agree with that. It's obviously better. You have a, it's so much better to perform in a language you have a command
Right.
over. Like for me, when it came to Hriday Purvam, because I speak Malayalam and they wanted a character who's a Pune born and raised Malayali. So my imperfect city Malayalam worked great for the character. So that was very helpful. But when I'm doing like say a Telugu movie, because I don't speak the language as yet, I'm handicapped. Like if somebody improvises, then I'm lost. I don't know what's going on, So in that way, of course, it's better to work in a language that you speak, and also to understand the culture also really helps, right? Say you're doing a scene, the political culture, what's happening, the cultural nuances, like everything just adds to subconsciously like a line you can just deliver, or like a comeback to like to what some other character is saying. Everything adds up, which you can't do the moment you're working in a different language.
maybe now, sir, I've got used to directors talking to me while the shot is happening. Probably I'll get used to this also of learning the lines and just putting them out there with the expression. Maybe I'll learn that in other language.
Ishan, have you thought about that? Because the thing is, again, your career, on the one hand, you're doing the Royals, you're doing this Nicole Kidman series, Perfect Family, you're Suitable Boy with Mira Nair. It's like
cute.
it's like a very you're not like saying I want to be
One thing.
I don't want to be. It's not like you want to be like Amitabh Bachchan or Nasiruddin Shah. It's not like the one thing that one person is doing, right? You want to be everything. Is like, how do you have you considered?
It's not I don't want to be this or I want to be everything kind of approach. Just trying to be authentic to myself. And so far, everything I've done, I mean, this is a great question. And I've not worked in a language that is not my own.
Right.
Whether it be even English, an English language, I had to work on an accent or a dialect, but I've not worked in a language, maybe save for like a smattering of Bengali or a smattering of Tamil in like a film that I've done. But for me, I think what would maybe come in my way is, and she very rightly said that it's the culture, and language is culture in that essence. Language is basically culture. So if I don't know who I am and what I'm saying, I think it'll be a blockage for me. So if I were to work in a different language, I don't think it could be that style of working where on the day or, learning the lines or that kind of thing. I think I would have to really, then like he said, craft that. If it's in a language, if I have a short term or short span of time to prepare for it, then I'd have to really know the script backwards to know exactly what I'm saying and the insinuation of every line, so I can play with it a bit at least, and do the groundwork. The ideal situation in my mind would be get a couple years to really learn the language, but that never happens. That's a luxury. And I also, bro, have to say, I've also worked with directors who have spoken to me during the shot, and I know exactly what.
Now I'm used to it. Actually, I enjoy it, sir. Now I start enjoying it.
Now you miss it.
Yeah. Now I tell my directors when I'm joining a new set, I'll be like, you can talk to me. You can talk, even the cameraman or the focus puller, you can just tell me. If I'm in minimum focus, you can tell me to move.
Meanwhile,
on.
the sing
because
sound,
I don't want to waste time
sing
anymore.
sound
now.
guy in the background is cutting his dress.
Sing sound is not there though for us. So
Also, what's really difficult is that a lot of directors write the scenes very last minute on the day of the shoot. That's happened to me with most of the makers that I worked with. where long monologues are being given. So it's a language that I don't have a command over yet. Like Tamil, similar to Malayalam in a lot of, so it's easier for me to pick up. But I don't have a full command over that language. Plus, I've been given, and I'm very like, I'll really hound the person. I'll be like, please give me my dialogues. I need to learn, and I'll learn the entire thing. Land upon set, and the director will come and be like, "Acha, sorry, I've changed the entire thing," and the scene is like in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then I'm not thinking about the emotions. I'm not thinking about the character. I am just thinking what word comes after this word, and I know I'm doing a horrible job while I'm doing it, but it's just. Like what do you do, right? You're in that situation, and you gotta.
Four Telugu films and 2 Tamil films. I've done it purely because of the love of the director for me.
Happy, I love.
Happy and
I love,
Rhythm.
yeah.
So after that, I stopped getting emotionally blackmailed because it's tough. It's very tough. The language. Your whole focus is on learning the language.
And then you have to learn it phonetically, right?
And phonetically, right. And then, they ask you to take the prompting. Prompting is a disturbance for me. I would rather be quiet in front of the camera rather than take the prompting, because if I'm quiet, I'm giving something to the camera. If I'm taking the prompting, I'm not there. I'm just shaken off, completely thrown off. So after a few films, I decided not to do it at all. If there is a silent role, I told Malayalam director, I love Malayalam films, but if there is a silent role, please tell me. I'll do it.
So I would like to add something. But I've worked with Jairam sir recently in Mirai. So this is the first time I've worked with him. So I've learned something very interesting. He's not concentrating on the lines. Okay, the starting first word and the ending word, he knows those 2 words. And in between, he'll join Malayalam, whatever, and he'll see the length of the line, and he'll actually deliver the expression right.
Wow.
So it is all about expression for him, starting of the line, ending of the line. So the expression is not going anywhere. He's actually delivering it straight to the camera also.
But Teja, this way there are a lot of actors over the years who've come up with certain hacks.
Yeah.
Like it's very common.
I'm sure sir has done about 300, 400 films. So now after all these years, Jairam sir has got the time.
In Telugu and Tamil, for a very long time, I knew like a few actresses where they're not even bothering looking at the line. So in this scene, you're sad. So you're just making a sad expression, and all you're doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. That's it. Because basically, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because at some point, 1, 2, 3, like you're getting the.
Manu just dying inside.
No.
But that's also a challenge. Bring the truth to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or it's ABCD. So if you're angry and you're like, you're angry at your lover, you're like ABCD, 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 ABCD. Because at some point, they'll match the lip that connects to the dialogue in the dubbing, and they'll do that. And this is not a one-off.
There
There are
good
actors who've done this their entire career.
Yeah.
No, and in lip sync songs, this is the technique in lip sync songs. And so many people, so many actors we know, will not name, learn songs like that. They'll just say banana, 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 something like that. And hopefully it will like land. Pineapple, pineapple is I love you. ऐसे ही होता है, ऐसे ही कर देते हैं गाने. So there's no one right way of doing it. I think people have found various different methods to create impact. So now that is impact. That's a different, and you can land it. So there's no correct or wrong way of doing it.
But imagine the
But it's
irony.
amazing.
I'm just imagining this. Here's a guy who kills himself to get into a role and character and this and that. And there's somebody who's like
Going
ABCD,
banana,
ABCD,
banana,
whatever. and
Also, sir, however.
They must be laughing at me.
No, and it humbles you because it's like my mom had once also told me, she's like, your pursuit of excellence is your problem. It's not everybody else's problem. You can't hold everybody
that's
to
a very good
I can see your mom saying that.
No, it's true. It's like, it's something you put upon yourself, right? So you also go into the world with that humility that there is no one right way. Like when I worked with Nicole Kidman, and a lot of people ask me, what did you learn? What did you learn? This was very interesting to me because she's from the Kubrick school. And he apparently had a rule. She's done a film with, Digaj Stanley Kubrick. And he had a rule where he said, nobody is allowed to say no to an idea until you've attempted it on set. So anything like she's flipped a scene on its head. a scene where she's completely silent while we're filming. She's not gone and told anyone, just went to the tent of the director and came back. And she's done a scream, like a huge tormenting, like, how the fuck dare you, something. And whether or not it makes the cut, suddenly now there's, it's shifted the tectonic plates on set. So everybody's alive, everybody's reacting, somebody thinks set pe kuch hadsa ho gaya. So you try different things to bring, and I have a story also like this. I work with Jagu Dada, Jackie Shroff sir. And man, I'll never forget him. He's a prompter. Like he'll take prompting.
Sorry to interrupt, but have you seen his recent ad with Ananya Pandey?
No,
Where he mimics Ananya and Ananya mimics
Jackie.
Epic. That's something else, she's doing that Bombay slang and he's doing her very it's hilarious.
Like he is the most bindas
Yeah,
person.
please continue. Yeah.
The most bindas person you'll meet, and that invariably is his craft also, right? So he'll take prompting. We're doing this horror comedy, and he's sitting and he's playing this character called Viru Shastra Buddhi, who's a tantric, and he's sitting there with his big lion-like mane and he's delivering a whole monologue. And he's getting prompted by the writer. So, Main Viru Shastra Buddhi, tum dono se kya? And the shot is on him, wide shot, and myself and my co-actor Siddhant, we enter the frame. And हमारे बीच में वो दिख रहे हैं, sitting on a throne. This is wide shot, tracking in and all that. मैं वीरू शास्त्र बुद्धि वहाँ से आता है. क्या शपथ लेता हूँ something. शपथ लेता हूँ कि ये चिंटू के लिए तू मेरी फ्रेम काट रहा है साइड मैं वीरू शास्त्र is going straight back.
And now it is digital. You can start from anywhere.
He's just aware that it's epic. So I mean, movie craft
But he found his.
And the best part is then he says, मैं ये चिंटू के लिए फ्रेम काट. Everyone on set is now like, he's like, hey, तू चालू रख. And the prompter, हाँ, मैं वीरू शास्त्र.
Love it.
Mohan sir on the camera.
And it's amazing because he's one of the most enjoyable actors to see on screen, right? It's like he's just so fun to watch on screen.
He gets his own innocence or sincerity to the screen, which is quite endearing. Also, Shekhar Kapoor, when he was directing Bandit Queen, he said, everyone. I mean, we were coming from theatre, hardcore theatre, and we used to discuss our methods and the process, this and that. And then one day he said that, as a director, I'm not interested in knowing your process. What method you are having to reach the character, I am not interested in. What you're doing in front of the camera is my
The
concern.
end result.
Yeah, that's all. Don't tell me what's your method and process. That's every actor's thing, not my thing. So that should be a lesson, because each and every one of us has our own way of approaching a character, our own process. Some people try to find it till the end. Some people may not find it, may keep trying various ways of doing things. But we all, eventually it's a journey of that where you are, as you said it so rightly, everyone is in pursuit of excellence.
Yeah.
This way or that way. Whether you were working with with hardcore commercial director, or say somebody from independent film world, eventually you have to get the truth of the character in front of the camera. That's it.
But Manoj, is there when you prepare, how do you draw the line between preparing and being over-prepared, to the extent that, is there a sense of deliberateness that creeps in when, have you noticed that? Is there something?
Over-preparedness is when you are not ready to take the direction. That is over-preparedness.
Have you caught
Because you block yourself.
Is there a possibility that you could be acting from the head and not from the heart? Is that a possibility?
Definitely. I mean, the people who are too much, when they really don't know where to stop preparing, then nothing is going from here to here. And if you're not touching here, then it is not showing in your eyes. Then everything is just on the surface level. And that is where, directors will struggle with completely. They don't know how to pinpoint it, but they can't see it in the eyes of the actor. Whatever he's saying, it looks like a false one. It looks fraud. It looks like a lie.
Yeah.
You know, so and directors always struggle as to what's wrong with his performance. Why it's not working? It's not working because the actor is either he's trying to memorize the line, or he is so over prepared that he is not living it. He's not living it. He's only living the lines, what is written, and the character that he thought that is. It's all there in his head.
And maybe that's why some of the, I mean, I'm not going to name them, but some of the method performances, I don't really get into. I appreciate them.
You're not moved by them.
I'm not moved by them. I see them doing all this, the business as they call it, they're doing this, or, adjusting some watch, or, all that kind of what he's doing.
They're
Right?
more into the
So you notice that.
right.
What did you do?
Yeah. So you see that, and you see all that they're doing, that, removing the fluff, whatever, but you don't, that you notice that, and you're like, wow, they thought through all that, but you don't, the performance, like you said, the eyes, that doesn't connect.
But if you're noticing they've thought through it, then it's not good acting.
It's not good,
Yeah, because then you can see the choices. You should not be able to see. I mean, the best, and most actors have said, like, moments where they've stumped themselves and don't know how to go back and repeat it or exactly,
And
is when they were most alive, right?
And also, like you said, you were into, like, when, I think Neeraj is the one who said you went under a bridge and shouted or something like that, and you yourself had forgotten. Like, because you were so in the moment that you just, like, kind of
Yeah,
did not.
and not to, like, romanticize it or anything, but I think that it's very important to acknowledge first that acting is a practicing art. Right. And it's not, I mean, most things now I do, even call it craft, call it rituals, whatever, is to get out of my head.
Yeah.
Because if you're caught up in your head, that's where half the acting, I think, will
See,
die.
why
No,
craft?
just to interrupt, by the way, we are romanticized. This is an actors' roundtable.
No,
We are
totally.
here to romanticize acting. Push it out there as much as possible.
Look, but craft is not bad. See, I mean, tomorrow, if I'm doing a sequence and I feel that there are certain things that I have to execute, and if I have not really practiced, or I have not practiced the way to find that, how am I going to execute it? The craft is to find ways to execute things.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I was giving this example yesterday, that if you are learning a guitar, so first few days and first few, say 6 months, 8 months, you are looking at the strings and the fingers, and you're looking, conscious. You're very conscious. You're trying to see that you are hitting the right string and pressing the right place to get some tune. But after 2 years, I'm looking at you and I am playing, because it's all practice. So the craft learning may look very, very detached in the beginning when you are trying to perfect it. But after couple of years, you want to hit something and you hit it. Because you practiced it so much, you exactly know how to get certain note, out of your throat. You think about it, you almost get it. So the craft is a very good thing. What is dangerous is that you are not welcoming outside instruction. You stop growing or evolving from take to take, because then you are only doing one thing. यहाँ पे नीचे जाएगा, यहाँ पे मेरा सुर ऊपर आएगा, ये लाइन को ड्रॉप कर दूंगा, यहाँ पे पॉज दूंगा. That is something is dangerous. Then you are blocking each and everybody's growth in that scene.
Because it's about you.
Yeah, it is only about you.
No, that's the point. Like, craft should be invisible, but I think it's not nobody is questioning craft. I think it's about the definition of it. It's become quite skewed. Like, people look at it in very different ways.
Yeah, because see, you're so right. The craft learning, the best thing is that it should not look like craft, and that is why there are two greats. If they are there, you always say that he's fantastic, I love him, but I like him. His mic, and because his craft has disappeared. You know that you love him. You yourself don't know what is the difference between them. It's just the feeling that you get.
Subconscious, yeah.
Yeah, subconscious.
Manoj, you used to recite poetry when in school,
Right.
and you also said that that recital of poetry is very helpful for an actor.
Yes, very helpful.
How is that?
It's very helpful to even hum songs. You don't need to be a very good singer, but for actors, it's very, very important that your performance has to have certain suit to it, certain rhythm to it. And when you are reciting a poem, when you are doing it every day, so you are understanding the word of the importance of or the value of each and every word that you are saying, and that happens only in the poetry, not in the in the prose, right? When you're reading a story, you are reading a story, but when you are reciting a sonnet, so you exactly know the value of each and every word which is there, and changing its meaning, right? So it's very, very important for actors. In all my workshops, whenever I conduct, I go to National School of Drama, all my workshops, poetry and music are main subjects. You know, those are the days we are really spending quite a lot of time talking about it or doing it, practicing it, trying to tell them exactly how it is helping your performance.
Right, right. You have a similar practice or something? Is that what you're...
No, I come from music, so from a so that's I do. I'm smiling because invariably I feel that's a very big part of who I am as an actor. My passions have always been dancing and acting, but I think a lot of that comes into my acting as well. You know,
Yes,
there's
dancing.
music to it.
I still remember Mr. Kamal Hassan. He was too much into martial arts learning, and he realized that his performances are becoming stiff. So he went and started learning Bharatanatyam just to ease himself out. So learning dancing is also a way of understanding your body.
Instrument.
And also body language. Body language, it helps a lot with the body language. When I was doing theatre, I wanted to learn, I wanted to do this class of body language. I was rejected by National School of Drama. I had to find teachers outside. So one day, one teacher told me, why don't you learn Chow dance? Chow dance is a dance from Odisha, Mayurbhanj Chow.
Yeah.
So I learned Mayurbhanj Chow for 4 years just to, learn the body language. So all of these things are very important for you when you are trying to become an actor. But I personally feel that you should know how to use it.
Yeah.
When to recall them for certain roles that you are portraying, and nothing goes waste. For actors, nothing goes waste.
Something that I really enjoy doing, aside from the physicality of things, is I feel reading fiction helps me a lot.
Yeah.
Just it keeps oiling the imagination, which is a very important tool you need because you're constantly just imagining being in a situation, being in a certain headspace. And I have found a very big difference in when I'm reading while I'm like working on something, and it doesn't have to be related to it, obviously. It's anything that sort of makes this work, because otherwise the go-to is just take a cell phone and scroll, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
just numbing the brain. So ek point pe itna numb ho jata hai that I found myself, I'm stuck. I can't get out of my head and get into character, get into the situation.
Right.
So then I've consciously had to just keep my devices aside, pick up a book, and it helps me immensely.
Yeah, reading is very important. I mean, actor doesn't need to be not so learned. They should be learned. They should know which world we are living in. They should have a certain part of themselves which is a writer. So if you are a good writer, I mean, if you are a very good actor, the writer part should be active, very much alive. We were reading a scene. The writer part will tell you which is the line that you are comfortable with or not comfortable with. You can go to your director or the writer, say that this I'm not finding it right. It is not falling right from me. So, and when you're doing improvisation, if there is no writer in you,
Where does it come
then you are going to improvise unnecessarily, which is not related to the scene or the film. You're only trying to overpower your co-actor. That's all. See, improvisation has to be something which is elevating the scene or extending the scene, right? Or adding. It should not subtract anything. So it's very, very important that actors, whatever that we are talking about, actors should be everything, little bit, everything.
So Teja, when there's a particular type of performance needed for, of course, you said that I try to be as normal and natural as possible, but when there's a history of people playing big roles in a big way, right? It's like do you think, when did that change exactly? Because in the older mythological /
Right.
fake mythology, what do you call it? Like for mythological movies, whatever. Those movies were like Jagadeka Virudu, for instance. That's not technically a mythological movie, but
Right.
it's
Fantasy.
like a fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, fantasy. So those kinds of movies, that was a world that was different. There were big song sequences, elaborate dances, and people went to a movie for literally escaping into another world, right? Now that's not so much the case. How do you calibrate yourself in that sense? Because I remember you telling some recent interview or older interview where you were saying that you were stumped by some of the Gen Z words like Pookie and Riz.
I really don't get it.
Yeah, and his response was epic. He said, "Both alsi log hai. They don't even want to say the full word or something like that." So you said that.
I know.
So when you know that there is a new generation out there that looks at acting a little differently, have you tried to kind of do something for that?
I'm that new generation, sir.
Right.
Yeah, you are.
So we relate to the same kind of films, right? So we don't want to see, as you mentioned about songs, we don't want to see unnecessary songs, but here and there we would enjoy. In Mirai, there was a very big hit song, sir. It did about 100 million before we released the film itself.
Right.
But we removed it at the end.
Right.
It wasn't there in the film. So it was a conscious choice that we didn't want to make the film look commercial as such or wantingly making it commercial. We had all of those elements, and even in future also, in Hanuman also, we had songs, we had all the commercial elements, everything. But if it is not fitting into that bill of our own sensibility, it is not trying to cater it to certain section of audience. It is generally our kind of film that we enjoy. Primarily, we have to enjoy the film once it is done, no sir. That is our, I think that is where we come from.
That is where you come from. What about something like, when you're working on a megastar film, and let's not name anybody, have you noticed an attempt to kind of, okay, we need something for this audience, and we need something for this audience, and we need something for the city audience, and like that kind of juggling? Have you seen that happen?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like the makers are very, we want a little bit of romance, it needs to have a little bit of action,
Comedy and
it needs to have comedy. So that's a palette that's very, widely
Full thali.
done. Full thali chahiye. Yeah, not just one dish.
But do you miss that? You guys, I mean, like having those, would you like to act in
Full
a,
thali?
like a,
I mean, why not? But
Yeah,
we
bring
are
it
not
on.
making those kind of commercial films. When it's having Manmohan Desai's films, everything was used to be there. Mukaddar ka Sikandar. I have not seen anything better than that.
but would you be able to like take that on as a challenge and say, let me do that?
Look, Baradwaj, I have done Rajniti and done Satyamay Jayate. I've done some really big successful.
I'm not able to
No,
recall
what I'm
Rajniti
saying,
now.
what I'm saying that I can. It's just that my problem is not with the commercial film. My problem is with the makers who are trying to make it a hit from the beginning. And that's impossible. So from the stage A, they are not truthful to the thing that they are making. If Mr. Manmohan, I've never met him, I've never worked with him, but I'm too sure that even David Dhawan or Manmohan Desai, they were very passionate, very passionate about what they were making, and the conviction was 200%. This is what actors who worked with them told me, and I completely believe it, because their films used to sway the whole nation on one side. It can't happen if you are treating your own product as a formula,
Like a project or something.
as a project. So I think I would love to work with people who have a conviction in what they are doing, and they are
I completely
100% sure.
agree with Sir on that, because with a lot of makers, you can feel that it's not अंदर से नहीं आ रही
नहीं आ
है.
रही.
This is not how they are seeing this world. And उस world में dance भी है, ये भी है, वो भी है, like whatever elements
It's what
are
they think will
there.
land.
Right.
It's everything nowadays is in reverse. So even a lot of narrations that come to me, it's like, oh, we're making a pan-India film. And I'm like, but you don't make a pan-India
need to
film.
be?
You make a film. Whether it's Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, whatever, Bengali, you make a film. You don't know if it's going to travel to a pan-India audience or not when you're
Right.
making it.
Nobody
Sure,
knows.
you can look at the, you can distribute it a certain way. You can market it a certain way. That you can do, pan-India. But you don't make a pan-India film. You make a film. But now everything is in reverse. So it's a pan-India film, and it's a film that will have this. And then you're working with the director, you're like, okay, I'll do it, why not? And then you're working with the maker, and he's like, no, you know what, actually, I didn't want to do this, but the hero feels that, like this worked in this other movie. So it's all very hodgepodge, it's not coming from andar se. That's
Not
the...
conviction. There are many offers that came to me, and I really admire those people who say that in front of me, that it's a pan-India, sir. How do you know? I mean, you can't be sure that this is going to be even pan-Andheri. Right?
That's the line of the...
पक्का narration अगले दिन ये तो pan and
You can't be sure. The only thing that you can sure of that, sir, we are going to try to make a good film out of it. That's the only thing you can sure of, and nothing else. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how far the film is going to travel. Really, nobody knows. And you ask anyone who is promoting their film, what is your expectation? You think that this film will cross, say, Karnataka? They will never say that. They will not be able to say that. Nobody. I mean, I will look like a foolish man if I say this, because Friday is actually going to tell you how far it is.
Exactly.
yeah. That's how it
Yeah.
is.
Friday will tell you whether it's pan-India or pan-India.
But that's a key word. You know what he said, conviction, is I feel it's become so low on the priority list. Is, do you even believe in the story that you're telling, or are you just, is it a means to get to success? Is the, that's a red flag, like conviction is the only thing you have. When you look at a Jaane Bhi Do Yaaro, and there's that infamous story of Nasir Saab
Right.
and Satish Kaushik ji, that scene that on the phone where their phone lines get tangled and they're in the same room and they think they're talking to somebody else. And apparently Nasir Saab said to Kundan Shah, he said, I can't do this. This is too ridiculous.
He said
This
it's
is
ridiculous. It is nothing was going to happen to this film.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Jaane Bhi
It's
Do
bizarre.
Yaaro.
And he just said, just do it. And that scene lands like gold. I mean, you die laughing in that scene. And it's just the conviction of the director.
There's a similar story with Harrison Ford after he'd been cast in Star Wars, because the film is full of Chewbacca and Wookiees and this and that and all those terms, right? And so I believe he took this thing and said, George Lucas, you can write this shit, but I sure as hell cannot say this shit. And then that movie goes on to become, the defining blockbuster of, I will change the face of cinema or whatever. So,
I miss that.
So the thing is, none of us, when we are starting a film, actually knows how far it is going to go. Only thing that we know, that this is a story that I'm going to give my life to. I have assigned, say, 60 days or 75 days. These 75 days, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned, and I'm going to give everything to it. That's all you know. That everything beyond that is unpredictable.
So, Manoj, just to clarify, I was not doubting your ability to get into a Mukaddar Ka Sikandar, but I was just mentally trying to picture how you'd play it. Because in my mind, it's Bachchan and
Right.
Amjad Khan and all
Right,
that,
right.
So I'm like, how would you, enter that zone because Prakash Mehra is a larger than life filmmaker. He is, performing things in there's a very performative way to the way the scenes are being staged, the way being, like he's, rote hue, he's like,
Rote hue, yeah.
he's getting up from the motorcycle, waving his hands about, doing that. Okay, let's do this theoretical exercise. How would Manoj do that?
You want me to perform for you?
No. As in, like, how would you? Actually, that would not.
Uska paisa lagna chahiye.
Yeah, that would But how would you do that? No, as in, just let me clarify again. Would you again internalize it or something? Or would you just say?
I was speaking to Mr. Bachchan, and on many occasions I spoke to him. He said that, whenever he tried to, when he was getting into doing those sequences, he's done it with complete honesty. The believability of Mr. Bachchan was his USP. He believed in it. When he said that, "Mere haath pe likh diya, mera baap chor hai," he believed in it. So it's the answer to your question is, for an actor to fit into the scheme of things, you have to believe in it.
Right.
And 100% believe in it. You should not be patronizing. You should not be trying. You should just be having the believability. Otherwise, you don't do it. I mean, nobody is up forcing you. If you can just put yourself into that frame and tell yourself that this is it and there is nothing outside, you'll be able to do it.
And I really believe that because, in the 70s, we also had a style of dialogue, Salim Javed and others, that was not as poetic as the Muslim socials of Mere Mehboob and all that kind of stuff, and not as natural as today, right? There was a certain poetic tilt to it. For example, in that scene in Sholay where Jay and Veeru are talking about, okay, shall we settle down in Ramgarh and do our own thing with these women and whatever kind of a thing? Shall we, what will you do? And then Dharmendra says, we'll take up farming or something like that. And then this thing, I think Amitabh says, let's take up farming. And then Dharmendra says, we don't know, we only know how to shoot guns. And then Amitabh says, बुराई ने बंदूक चलाना सिखा दिया, अब नेकी हल चलाना सिखा देगी. It's a thing that rhymes, but there's also the way he says it so dryly. It doesn't sound like I'm reciting some very constructed line, because it is a constructed line. The line lands with a punch to that thing, but the way he says it, it takes away the poetry from the line and delivers that beautiful line like a.
All the great teachers have always taught it, and I always say this too.
They taught what? This line?
They always say, whenever you think that there is a golden line in your scenes, you should treat it as an ordinary line.
Lovely.
So you should not be giving any value to it. The moment you start thinking about it, you are going to mess it up. It's just one of the dialogues which is there in your performance or in your scene. Don't try to look at it with special attention to it. I mean, it will not help. Just throw it away. Throw it away. Most ordinary. I'm not going to give any bow to it. Throw it away, and it always works.
Words do the heavy lifting.
I mean, it has happened in my case, in my own career. Many of the dialogues have become quite popular. Two of them were Karara Jawab Milega or Biku Mahate, Mumbai Ka King Kong. Mumbai Ka King Kong is actually thrown away. I'm laughing with it. I never thought that it is, though I thought that is a very flamboyant line, but I mocked at it in the same performance. Mocked the whole line itself. And it became so popular. So, or Karara Jawab Milega. I did it with the intensity of telling the opponents. I didn't say it like too much emphasis. I didn't really care to give on that. It was about the performance and in my mind, I was saying it to Ranveer and Arjun Ampal's character. I'm not saying it to anyone. So when you just treat it as an ordinary or part of the character, then it is taken care of.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Actually, thank you for saying this because this helps me understand that Neki Halchalana line better.
Right.
Because, you know, he knows that he has the punch to that passage, but he's throwing it away.
Right.
Like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So.
The moment you throw it away, if the audience, they have to pick it up, they will pick it up. If they don't think that it has any value to it, they will not pick it up. Yeah. Leave it to the audience. I mean, the golden line. Whenever the unit starts saying, Manoj sir, वो वाला scene हमको देखना है sir, वो scene sir, हम देखना चाहते हैं कैसे perform करेंगे, उस scene पे मैं prepare करना ही बंद कर देता हूँ.
So here's a question to all of you. Amir recently said that he was asked if there's a scene he'd like to reshoot, and he said that the scene where he breaks down in front of Sue in Rang De Basanti.
Right.
He's eating and then he breaks down. And apparently, he just wanted to do that scene once. But what happened was, because of certain logistical reasons, the time he was prepared to do that scene, they decided to shoot another scene and should go somewhere else. And then he found it very difficult to come back to that place that he was when he was there, when he was ready to that. So he's like, that's one scene I wish I could reshoot. Any such regrets for you guys? Any scenes you wanted to reshoot?
Many.
Shoot half of everything that I have done. And for that reason, mostly I don't watch my films. So I really don't know where all I have goofed it up. So whenever my directors are pushing me, like Neeraj Pandey, he's a very, very stubborn director. He always tries to make me part of the whole making thing. So the other day, one film that I have done is for his production. He made me go through the final edit, which I don't do it because it's torturous. It's torturous to perform, get into the character, go through all that process of making it, doing it. And it's all the more torturous when you watch yourself and say, oh shit yaar, यहाँ पे ये कर सकता था, वहाँ पे ये कर सकता था मैं. So you're only thinking that, but mostly I don't watch my films. So there are very few regrets that way. But after the film is over, you know that, yeah, few things I could do better. Yeah.
I was talking to the Tamil actor Pasupati recently, and he said that the same thing, that he doesn't rewatch much of his stuff, but he said at that point, the decision maker is the director.
Director, yeah.
So as long as my performance satisfies that one person, my job there is done. What I think about the scene later is slightly irrelevant, and that is my own headache if I want to think about it and obsess about it. But at that point, if I've prepared and if I've given something to the director, and then the director is very happy with it, then my job as an actor on that film set is done. Is that something you'd
The problem is I don't see it like a job. So that's where the problem happens. Where it's like, it's not irrelevant to me how I feel about it.
the post
And
feeling?
he's right. As a professional actor, that is your job and that is something to be aware of all the time.
Right.
Also know your place on set. Unless you're directing something and calling the shots, you're not the highest authority and you should not think of it like that. It's doing everyone a disservice. But for me, what's important is that I sleep better at night if I know I've felt something truthfully. If I feel I'm doing it to satisfy somebody else, but it's not coming from a real place or a guttural place, then it bothers me afterwards. So all my attempts are then to try and reach a place where I can give them what they want, because that is paramount, but also bring it from a place that I can believe in.
I mean, they are very right, because at the end of the day, only that much time is there.
Yeah.
So that can't be gone into satisfying one person's search. And there is somebody called director who is calling the shots. He exactly know he got the shot, and they move from there. But yes, that somewhere the people who are learning or in the process of learning, they are dissatisfied.
Yeah.
And that dissatisfiedness is good. That it also means that you are searching for the excellence. It also means that you are very much aware about the actor that you are, and that the kind of actor that you want to be. There is one scene in season 3. where my character is sitting with Dilip Dahil, and we are in Nagaland. We are meeting this Naga leader, and the Naga leader says that, so Shrikant, you've gotten married to that girl. So you are married, he said. You're married. Now the truth is, my character is somewhere internally separated from his wife. And now my performance was, yes sir. Now yes sir is the truth, but I wanted to add something to it. And DK, he took it, he said, okay, it was good. Manoj, anything else that you want to do? And then they started dismantling everything to move on to the next spot. And suddenly it came to me, I said, DK, can we just do it again? What happened? I said, I think, that performance was not right. So, no, I think it was very right, Manoj. We are losing light, Manoj. We can't do. I said, DK, just give me, please, request. He came. Not much has moved. We took the shot. Just little bit hesitation I do when I say, yes, sir. Because he knows that he's separated. So I just added a little bit of hesitation to it before saying, yes, sir. That, he's saying the truth, but it's also a lie. So, these things you do it for yourself, not that you are expecting each and every audience to understand.
Yeah.
You do it for
But you should
yourself.
also pray that
Yeah.
the editor holds the same shot. I always, after the shot, whenever the director says, okay, I'm like, I'm someone who watches my takes and then try to understand how to better it, or with more instructions I get better. So I take more number of takes and I'm unapologetic about it. I tell the senior actors also, sir, I'll take 5, 6, 7, 8 takes, don't mind at all. I start doing it. So, but eventually I'll like one take and I should just pray to God that this take comes in the edit.
Yeah. Ishan, so in that situation where the director is on one side and you're on another side, and both of you are you have differing ideas about what is needed in that scene, do you just say, okay, let's give it to the director, or do you kind of struggle a bit?
You beg, and sometimes for an extra take, sometimes for just the consideration that maybe I'm not somebody who's an over discusser on set. I think when you're on set, it's more about doing, and I love to discuss and chat, but I think that's the prep stage, where you talk about every methodical, calculation, all of those things, and get to the bottom of it. But when you're on set, time is of essence, and also it's about doing.
Yeah.
And you discover in the doing. So usually my request will be like, I'll maybe beg for one more take, and sometimes, and now I also don't like to get into the detail of it. You also, there's also a feeling of you don't want to say it because it'll get lost in the ether. You don't want to say what you're going to do. It'll jinx it in some way. It's like, let me just try. I think there's something I missed. I think there's something, I feel there's something you can bring.
There's an actor who actually told me that they don't want to verbalize it because once they put it in words, they fear it will disappear from their mind. Is that something you feel as well?
Yeah. Maybe it's just a superstition, but like sometimes I feel like that for sure. Like, let's just do it.
Also, what happens that even if you tell your director, he's not going to care about it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. After all the takes, they might behind the monitor, they might say, this is what he has done in the first take also.
So it's better not to share it with them.
Yeah. And see, if it's going to land and if it's truthful, then they'll know when they see it, right? But good chances are, if you're going to tell them, this is how I'm going to do it, they'll be like, terrible idea, let's move there. Just move on.
There are so many times we'll ask for like, no, I've suddenly got this, like light bulb in my head and I want to do this differently. And you'll be like, sir, one more take. And you'll do it. And then the director's like, okay. And then you'll see them turn and be like, keep the previous one.
Yeah, most of the times.
Malavika, everyone talks about Malayalam cinema. Of course, the writers are doing a great job. The directors are doing a great job. But I've had a few female actors come, while meeting them and talking to them or interacting with them, they've said that, if you know any good scripts, let me know if you speak to anybody, because apparently there aren't that many parts being written for women in whatever it is. and we know that this is not just that one cinema alone, it's other places as well. How do you make sure that you get like a fair bunch of scripts your way? Like what do you do? Do you need to position yourself a certain way? Do you need an agent who's super like connected? How does that work?
I feel firstly, in today's day and age, you keep an open mind. I think we live in a great time as an actor because the boundaries between industries have really blurred, which means that if you can do a good film anywhere. You know, you work with collaborators, makers in any industry, and if it's a good film, it will find its audience. It will reach people because marketing and reach is not as much as an issue anymore as it was, say, up until 7 or 10 years back, you know, where, like Sir said previously, like to watch Malayalam films, you would really have to like go to a certain place or, you know, to a film festival or etc., find a DVD, etc. That's not the case. OTT, social media, everything. Your film's getting spoken about if it's good, it's reaching people if it's good. So I think for starters, that's great. Number two, I feel like I'm in a good place where, because I speak Malayalam, I speak Tamil a little bit now, I'm working in multiple industries, so I'm not restricted to finding work just in one industry. It's not कि हिंदी में ही काम करना है या सिर्फ मलयालम में काम करना है. So I feel because of that, I'm working on some very exciting projects pan-industry, which is a great space to be in, because I'm hearing this from a lot of people that people who are working in one industry primarily, that because of the economics of the industry currently, because a lot of films theatrically are not collecting the way they're expected to collect, it's a little slow in some places. But having said that, it's there's no one formula to get work here. You know, you can, the beauty of our, on some days it's a boon, on some days it's a blessing of our line of work is that you never know what leads to what. Like like I was saying previously, like Karthik Subburaj watched Beyond the Clouds, a Majid Majidi film, and that's how I got a Rajnikant film. And then that led to like something else. Similarly, I remember I've done this film with Dhanush, which didn't do well at all. It was a OTT release, straight to OTT release. And Ashutosh Gavarekar was making a film at that point, a female-led film. It never ended up happening, but he called me for that having watched this movie. So like dots that you don't even think will connect, it's a trickle-down effect and not of the kind you imagine. So what I have come to, you know, my modus operandi is just work. Just do good work. I mean, good work as in like you make the best out of the offers that are coming your way. And I have this superstition in my head that every time I've gone chasing a movie, you know, you hear through your peers and people that, okay, you know, ye film ki casting chal rahi hai. And every time I'm approached for a film, I've never gotten it. Never, ever. Ek baar bhi nahi. So now I just feel like, okay, if I really want a film, let me just not approach the maker. Let me, you know, so it's, we sort of get in our head with these things. We try to find some pattern in a world where there are no patterns.
You should just leave a message. Sir, I'm here.
I'm sure that's it.
No, actually, somebody
It's still alive.
is still around. Yeah.
It's still around, yeah.
So, closing thoughts, other than, I have just one question. When is the 4th season coming?
Oh, yes. It's not going to be that late, that big a gap as the last one. Very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, very, very soon.
Pumped. Super pumped for it.
It's something that I personally look forward to.
Are you going to be singing on a motorbike?
This time I am going to be a badass, but Shrikant Tiwari, because the 3rd season was very passive. He was taking all the shit in his life and from his enemies. But the last one, finale one, is going to be all mayhem, all bad things he'll be doing.
Nice.
You revealed it's the finale.
Yeah, it's the finale one.
Sir, I think you should go on set and for one scene do ABCD.
ABCD.
And just see how Raj and DK react. It'll be epic.
Or make that the scene.
Manoj
Shrikant is just like ABCD.
Manoj Bachchan came to this roundtable and he's never been the same again.
You managed to do what nobody could.
Teja, any closing thoughts?
About sir?
About closing thoughts, closing this roundtable.
It was nice meeting you all. It's pleasure and honor to sit
What
with
are you
Manoj,
working
sir.
on?
Sir, I'm doing sequel to all my earlier films. Yeah, we're also working on part 2.
We look forward to that.
Thank you, sir. I've done a zombie film earlier.
Okay.
We are planning for a sequel for that, and
Is Zombie ready? That's been announced,
I
right?
know.
It's true. Yeah.
And then we have Mirai's sequel also happening. So I'm also very well known for taking a lot of time, but this time I'll try to finish these films faster.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know, it's
All
like
the best. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
You know, it's especially interesting because there was the Tamil, Telugu, and Hindi film industries, which are the three biggest at one point. People just used to work non-stop on multiple shifts, and because they were doing so, which you'll find like 5 Chiranjeevi movies a year, 5 Venkatesh movies. They just keep doing these things non-stop. Now everybody's kind of taking it easy and doing one at a time. It's interesting. So.
We are also actually working continuously, sir.
I know,
Films are
but I'm
coming
saying
after.
it's not multiple.
Yeah, not on multiple films. Not on multiple films, but yeah, it takes nowadays. I think it takes a lot to finish one film. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Ishan, all the best for the Oscars.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all rooting for you.
Thank you for us, man. For
No,
India.
and also I think there can be no greater recognition for a film than that. There's Cannes talk around it. There's Oscar talk around it. There's Martin Scorsese. I mean, it's one of those many combination thing comes together. Right? Very few films, and your performance is appreciated. You're part of a good film, good director. Everything just pretty much like it's a great thing. I think just that is the celebration, right? It's like everything else is the cherry on top. So
Totally is, and immense gratitude. And again, like coming back to our conversations, this is not something you can reverse engineer. It happens, and the only thing we worked backwards from was to be able to make the date to submit to Cannes. But all of the rest, especially, I think the biggest reward is someone like Mr. Scorsese, even just seeing your work as a young actor, and then he had some things to say which just like it just blows your mind, as So it's all a blessing, and we're just now it's all on the film. Uski kismat hai, and we're just pushing it, and doing what we can. And thank you, sir, for that. And closing thoughts are just grateful to be here. I think it was a great.
I think my closing thought is just the fact that I got to like to hear a kind of a mini masterclass from many of you, and I'm including the ABCD bit, because that's like that's not. I mean, we're laughing at it, but to get away with it is something. There's something there. I don't think everybody can do that, right? So. And
there are a lot of kindergartners who will want to act. We've got what it takes. Let's go.
That's what it takes. So what can we expect from you in the next year? Raja Saab?
Raja Saab, which is a Sankranti release, which is 9th Jan. Then there's Sardar 2. So a couple of releases, and I really enjoyed being here today because during the course of our conversations, I also realized that we've all done such a different body, like such different kinds of work, and across such different industries. So it was so insightful to sort of, I feel like I had a great time.
But that's when it works well, right? Because if everybody's just like done like new people, or then the energy is very different. So this way. So anyway, thank you all, and
Thank you, sir.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Bye.
See you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Title sponsors the Chennai Silks. Let the celebration begin. GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand. MCR Pure Cotton Club, formal and casual shirts. Presta women's wear. Anaithilum besta Presta. Innerwear, leggings and nighties. Presents Galatta plus Mega Roundtable Pan India Actors. Supported by KFC. Full on variety, full on chicken. Milk Mist. Login 360. Start your dream IT career. Powered by Darling Solar. 20500 முன்பணத்தில் இப்போது சோலார் மூலம் இலவச மின்சாரம்.